something big for the 50th Super Bowl. Like, this is a huge thing. You know,
right? I would have thought so.
In the CFL for our 100th year for the Grey Cup, we had like almost a whole year-long party building up towards, you know, the big the Grey Cup game.
And yet the halftime show at at the Grey Cup that year wasn't that good either, though.
We don't watch the Grey Cup.
It was headlined by Justin Bieber. Hello.
Well,
y'all can keep him, by the way.
Yeah. No, we don't want him to begin with. You guys can have him. He can go down. He can stay in Hollywood or Florida or wherever he's been hanging out. We don't want him back up here. He actually went to school here in Winnipeg for a few years, and quite frankly, I don't think any of us really miss the kid.
Maybe that's why he has a lack of education.
This might be true.
No, and they're making this huge, there's a lot of, anti-gay activists who are making a big deal on Coldplay, Beyonce's, and what's his name?
Whatever. I'm sorry.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. Okay.
They did this huge rainbow, love thing, and of course everybody takes it into a very dark and twisted area, which I think they took it way too far. But any halftime show is not, a halftime show without some sort of controversy. I still think the best one was Janet Jackson.
Of course you would, after Nipplegate and everything.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shocker, that's for sure.
Okay, again, as a casual fan, I guess I want to ask you guys then, what would what act would you have wanted, for such an occasion?
To me, it's more than just what the act is. It's you want the hype, like, being such a huge event, you want like the fireworks going off, you want the huge kind of the explosion type things, really make a big event. But
I mean, how would you plan that? I mean, I'm a casual listener to music and everything, so I had an idea who Coldplay was. I knew who Beyonce was. I know who Bruno Mars was, whatever. But, you know what, I mean, you're going off and then you're talking about how lackluster. Okay, like, Beyonce is probably one of the biggest acts in the world. And, Bruno Mars is pretty big, Coldplay is pretty big. But, I mean, for whatever reason, this kind of fell flat. I mean, could they have done better if they brought in, a bigger act or a more well-known act, like maybe even like the Rolling Stones? Or, well, I can't think of anyone else because, again, I'm a rocker at heart, so I'm gonna go back to the music I grew up on. So, but I mean, I don't know if they possibly, from a musical standpoint, could have went off and done any better than they did. I mean, honestly, I think Beyonce, who did, I believe, the halftime show last year, her performance last year was far better with everything that she did, along with with her friends and everything. I thought it was much better last year than this year turned out to be.
I think what they should do is they should get with the people that put on the opening ceremonies to the Olympics and incorporate that kind of outfit into the Super Bowl halftime show. Then you might would have something that would entertain all. Because the people that put on the Olympics, and they go all out. I don't know if you guys ever watched the opening to any Olympics, but they really put on a show.
We hosted the Winter Olympics not too long ago, and I think everybody had their eyes glued to the screen for that.
Exactly. My point. Well, why couldn't Super Bowl 50 be that big? I mean, I think it's that big that the American people love NFL football, so why couldn't it be incorporated to something like that? I don't have an issue with the artists that they picked. That's fine. They're all popular in that, but just the show itself was what was lackluster. And I think what lost most people's attention. I really enjoyed the commercials more so than the halftime show myself.
And see, that's kind of one of the big issues that we have here in Canada is a lot of the really great Super Bowl commercials. We can't even see them here in Canada. I believe next year will be the first year that we'll finally be able to see all of the Super Bowl commercials. Oftentimes everything gets put on Canadian channels, and so there's going to be Canadian content in the form of the commercials. So we do get some Super Bowl commercials, but not all of them. And we usually have to wait until after the Super Bowl to even see some of these commercials, if they even ever air again at all.
I find that interesting because it's not just that. It's a lot of things that Canadians don't get that Americans get. You can just go in the grocery store and just say a Walmart in Alabama, stores and shelves are stocked with so many more different choices than they are the Walmart shelves in Canada.
I got 2 words for you, or maybe 3 words. Cherry Coca-Cola.
I don't know.
Enough said.
It baffles me. It doesn't make any sense why we're all North America, but some of us get luxuries that others don't get. I don't understand that. Well, it makes no sense to me. I'm sure it has something to do with imports and all that, but I just don't see it being right.
No, I completely agree, and it's just like, most people in the States don't watch the CFL because they don't, get it on their TVs and all that. I would love to see them.
Well, that's true, yeah.
I'd love to see it both ways. I'd watch
every game.
I watch more NFL, lately because I'm actually able to get it. Although, except for my Lions, I can't watch that because it's never really on. So that's okay. I'm not missing much. It's like the Toronto of the NFL.
No, you're not missing anything.
It's the Toronto of the NFL.
Well, you hadn't missed anything since Barry Sanders retired. I'll just say that.
I don't think he I don't think he retired. I think he just gave up losing.
Right.
The big difference. The Lions are actually one of the few teams who have never won the Super Bowl or attended the Super Bowl. We actually won the Cup before it became a Super Bowl, and then they took away that honor. So, yeah, we are one of the losingest teams in NFL history, and it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. Megatron would rather retire.
Are you up there with the Raiders yet?
Sorry, what?
I said, are y'all up there with the Raiders yet?
No. I think the Raiders are slightly better than us.
Oh wow.
They've accepted they suck. We're still pretending we don't.
Well, keep taking on Georgia quarterbacks, and that'll happen.
Stafford's a wonderful quarterback, in video game land. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to start wrapping this up eventually.
Oh, we were just having fun.
I know, it's always fun in studio here. So tell us a little bit more about maybe back home. Most people have traditions on what they do before they watch one of their favorite football games. So walk us through a day of you watching Alabama.
Oh wow, game day. Well, first thing I do is when I wake up on Saturdays is I wake everybody up and I tell them, you know what day it is? And they go, no. And I say, it's game day. That's the very first thing that happens. Of course, I have my Alabama jammies on and my Alabama shirt, decked out in Alabama all day. It's a must. It's like a tradition. And then shortly after breakfast, the drinking commences. And then you celebrate all day because 9 times out of 10, there's usually a victory at the end of the day for us. Thankfully, because we have Nick Saban.
And what happens on that 10th, where you guys lose?
Oh, then you drink heavily, even more so than when you celebrate.
That sounds like a CFL day.
I really, that happened to us early this year in like the 4th game of the season. Alabama had lost to Ole Miss, and everybody thought they were done for.
Well, Ole Miss is generally a good team.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
But all this talking about
you go out and you make your appetizers starting around lunchtime, depending on what time the game is, and then later on in the afternoon you go fire up the grill with drunk chickens and ribs and you name it, and you just basically have a huge cookout and drink all day and then watch football.
Sounds like my idea of a good time.
That's my Saturdays in Bama country.
That sounds like a wonderful Saturday. I'd love to have a Saturday like that, even without football.
Right.
No, cookout, beer, and football. That's pretty much sounds like the American dream.
Well, I start with beer, but as it shifts into the game, I start going to Crown and Coke. Got to get the Canadian whiskey in.
There we go. Yeah. Canadian with college football, even better. So yes, unfortunately we have to start winding up the show.
Winding down the show, don't you mean, dear sir?
Yeah, same thing. Winding up, winding down, all ends up the same. So it's been wonderful having you on the show. We look forward to more shows.
Thank you for having me.
We definitely look forward to more shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely for our listeners. This is a bit of a change. Of course, we usually are talking very geeky stuff here, and now we're talking.
It takes a whole different kind of geek to watch football. There's stats. There's you got to memorize which players for what team. You got to memorize the other team.
Hey, you got to memorize what color jersey they're wearing.
That too. Yeah, trust me, that got me in the Super Bowl. I forgot who was wearing what, and I got confused. I thought Carolina was up 10-0.
You wish they were, man. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this has been one of those shows where I actually got to sit back and rest my voice. As everyone who's listening last week knows, I'm kind of in the middle of fighting a bit of a cold, so this is actually kind of nice. I got to sit back and listen to two guys talk about a game that they're absolutely passionate about.
I wouldn't say passionate. We have we're passionate about football, maybe not so much about the Super Bowl because it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Okay, then. I'm not sure where you were going with that, but you know what?
I never do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. It's been a wonderful show. Again, I'd like to thank Bama Slim for going off and joining us here tonight. It was a pleasure going off and hearing your perspectives on the Super Bowl and just American football in general. So you know what? We look forward to having you on the show again. And sometime soon, I'm sure.
CFL season is starting.
CFL season is starting up soon.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure.
Go Rough Riders.
Go any team
Thank
but
you
the Blue
guys
Bombers.
for the chance, the opportunity to come on your show and throw out a little bit of knowledge, and I would totally accept another invite to a show in the future down the road, hopefully soon.
Sounds like a plan, man. Okay, folks, it's time for us to check out of here. You can go off, and of course you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow my compatriot here, Capt Fizz.
At Real CAPT Fizz, at Real Captain Fizz.
You can follow this local fellow at That Masked Guy. Follow the show at Fizz Masked Show. Also, you can check us out on our website, www.fizzmaskedshow.com. And you will see, I believe at this point we have the first 42 episodes of the podcast up on there. There's also links to our Facebook account, as well as to all three of our Twitter accounts. You can also find all of our, I guess you can listen to us on YouTube as well. After all of our episodes are done, it immediately gets uploaded to YouTube, so you can find us there as well. Again, thanks, Bama Slim, for joining us. And in the meantime, and in between time, we say goodnight, God bless, and may the force be with you.
And as always, stay frosty, my people.
Good night.